as children get older, right, how does homeschooling generally sort of evolve in terms of structure, support, as well as the use of resources?
Yeah, so I think I've actually had a lot of friends that have done homeschooling or online schooling for high school. Often, for a lot of them, was because of bullying that they chose to do that. It's a lot more self-guided than younger homeschooling because it's a lot online. They do offer just like online high school programs that you can just, go do all your asynchronous work, whatever. That's what I had a few friends do. So I think the parent involvement kind of steps back because there's a lot more autonomy and self-control for a 16-year-old to structure their day than a 5 or 6-year-old. But also, I mean, academics do increase if the goal is still for your child to attend college or university. Like there are standards that they will have to hit to be on track to start at the collegiate level. So I think we see technology become a lot more involved and, more structured curriculum as well.
Yes. And also, I think a lot of then at that point, parents turning to some outside sources for support, because that's also a difference, right? When you're teaching, say, a 5, 6 year old, like you maybe have the knowledge, it's easy to do. You can do a lot more hands-on lessons that are super valuable, like making Play-Doh. And in that, there's a
Mhm.
lot of, there's quantity and math learning and science and all kinds of things. Well, as a child gets older, that's not so much applicable. And the
Right.
sort of the subject matter also becomes harder and level. And sometimes these parents don't even necessarily have that knowledge or the ability to, say, start to teach pre-calculus
I was
or
going to say, I think
whatever.
most parents probably don't have the knowledge to teach calculus to their
Right.
child. If you do, great for you, but like most of us probably took it and it's not in our heads anymore.
Exactly. We don't use it on a daily basis. And once we got through, we got that it was out. And so I think as learners get older, parents do start to kind of call on outside resources as well. And in our article, which I also thought was interesting, an important thing to point out is sort of when you make this, what's hard for them in terms of the research and why they don't necessarily have solid findings or facts on homeschooling is because there is such flexibility and there is such range from everything from what states require and whether or not you need to register as a homeschool student and the requirements there to a lot of the reporting just comes from homeschool parents and students themselves, so it can be very biased or also a lot more sort of qualitative anecdotal research rather than numbers and facts. But one thing that they said that is pretty common that doesn't always get looked at is that the homeschool models, and especially as students get older, start to kind of involve sort of what they call these flexi school options, where they're doing some homeschool things, but then they're also either taking courses in what they call these homeschool communities, where there are a group of homeschool students that are learning or getting a subject from an instructor, or a particular instructor together, and or they might be taking a course or two from either whether it be a community college or some outside sources. And so it's sort of a combination or a balance of both just the homeschool, but also then bringing in maybe some of those more core structured curriculums or blends to kind of adjust as the student gets older and the learning looks different. So there are a lot of different options in there as well.